Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Charlene's Art Corner. Yes, I still have the paintings here, all of them, until they are actually sold, which I can hope. And I would also like to introduce you to, yes, you know I have this 1.5 inch brush right here, and you do know this is an angle brush. I gotta wash it better though. Now I went back and you saw this in another video. I have this 1.5 inch brush right here. Now this is straight across instead of at an angle, as you can see. So we have this one to work with. Now this, I went ahead and put some liquid white on the canvas already. We also have the 1-inch brush to work with today. And then we have the 2-inch brush if I need to use it to blend on the canvas as well. So before we get started on this today, I thought about just, okay, go ahead and like pull another 8x10 and just do something else. I don't know if you guys can see that. But, you know, I was like, you know what? I don't know if you guys want to see like some weird design. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do a really nice, bright, maybe kind of a sunset design for you guys. And because you know what, I think right now, I know today is 9/11, maybe a sunset, and personally, well, you know what, maybe it's something that would cheer people up, seeing a sunset, maybe not, I don't know. But you know what, let's go ahead and just go into this. We already have, and that's why my hands are a bit dirty. Of course, you know, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty with paint, and you shouldn't either. So let's go ahead and get started in on this. We're going to go ahead and take that 1-inch brush and get just the tip of it wet in the water, you know, since we're working with this. Oh, and I have a towel in my lap, so I don't always have to come over here and just clean it off. I have a thick one in my lap. So this is making it a little bit easier for me since I'm having more back problems. So we can pick up, I've tried to clean my palette a little bit today, so we can pick up a little bit of that white, mix it a little bit with that yellow ochre. Pick that up right there on your brush. It's right there. Pick up a little more white with that. Let's mix it right there. Just going to mix it right there today. I put a lot of white in my palette. I got to pick up some more of that lovely black paint that I really like. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start like where we think the sun should be on our little canvas. Hey, Harry, beat the devil out of it? Okay, I will. Okay, so we're going to figure out where do we want the bright spot on our canvas. So maybe we want the bright spot on our canvas. Start right here. And then we're going to take these little crisscross strokes and just go across our canvas like this. Just go across our canvas. And just go across. Now you can always pick up a little more white, take that back into it, and just go like this and just work your way out. Just work your way out. And you see how like that just changes the whole color. You'll get the idea. You'll get the idea as you're going along with this. Now, go back in here and we just make our decision. What do we want in here next? Just leave that paintbrush, you know. Go back in there with that dirty paintbrush. We just pick up a little bit of that red. Go back in there and go back in. And we just back in with that crisscross stroke. And just like that. Just like, look at that. Look at that beautiful sunset that's making. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. Not setting your sunset on fire, but you are making a beautiful sunset, aren't you? Look at that. That's just beautiful. And you got that red on. Just like right there, just blend that in. Just 2 hairs and a scare. Right on the end of that. 2 hairs and a scare. Okay. Now if Harry wants to see me beat the devil out of this brush, he has to come back on to see me beat the devil out of this brush. And he has to give me a thumbs up. Want me to do it? Gotta give me a thumbs up if you want me to beat the devil out of this brush. Okay. I gotta clean the brush anyway. Okay, it's time to beat the devil out of this brush. Okay. Let me take this off of here. He looks forward to this, so do I. Takes out your frustrations. Certainly does. And it dries your brush real well. Was that better? Yeah, it was. Let's beat the devil out of it. I still have to laugh. Oh, Mr. Bob Ross, bless you. Bless you for serving this country, too. Beat the devil out of it every time. Okay, so let's go back into this. And we're going to pick up a little bit of that Prussian blue. Okay, with a little bit of black. A little bit of Prussian blue, a little more blue. And we're going to go right up in here. Just right up in here. Don't be afraid of it. You make just happy little things happen just right up in here. Happy little things. You just have to fill that in. Happy little things. Clean this again. Oh, there's a reason why I have a towel wrapped around the base of this, to keep it from splashing so much. I have to excuse my loud neighbor. I know you can hear him. So anyway, take the brush across like this and just sweep it across, since this is the darker area. And then just 2 hairs and a scare across and just blend this in. You'll have to excuse me for a minute. Could you please let him know I'm doing this video? Excuse me for that. This is embarrassing. And I know I have a viewer on. Anyway, 2 hairs and a scare. And you just blend this right across. And you see how that gives an illusion of little things going on in the sky. It just gives like little swoopy, like, look, I didn't mean for the brush to come down like that, but it gives like little swoopy illusions of like cloud formation coming down in the sky like that. See, I didn't mean for that to happen, but see, you just take your brush and just fluff it, clean your brush a little bit, dry it, take it back over here, and just take it, right? And just go like that. Yep. And yes, I did leave the brush a little bit wet. Just a little bit wet. And you see how it picks up and changes the color. It leaves that dark. And you can pick up a little bit more of that dark. And just go right back in there. Just sweep that back in, right? And now you're still getting that color. You're still getting that color that you added in. You know, like old Bob Ross said, it's happy little accidents. Just happy little accidents waiting to happen on your canvas. It's happy little accidents waiting. And because we have that liquid white on the canvas, it can make your sky just look so beautiful with anything that you put on there. And now we all know that the universal color between blue and red is a purple tone. So if that accidentally blends together, you're going to get some sort of purple tone out of it. And so you don't even have to worry about that. You're going to get some sort of beautiful purple tone even after, because you know we're working with an acrylic. Even when that cures. Now paint will cure overnight, and we know this. Even when you dry your brush like against your easel, and you guys know how to use this snare brush stand. And now you guys are going to think, okay, now what are we going to do next? Where do we want land to be? Did we want this to be landscape? I want this to be land today. So where do we want our land to be? And what kind of land do we want? Do we see mountain? What kind of mountain do we see? What do we want this to be? Now, we know I have a knife, but I don't have the right kind of palette knife, and I will be switching that up soon. But the other thing I can take, of course, is my fan brush. I do have my fan brush to work with that, and a fan brush always work to take with that if I want to make a mountainscape. If I do want to make a mountainscape. Now you can pick up your black. You can use that with the Prussian blue. Just go in more black than blue with this just to do your mountain. More black. Pick up a little more of that blue with it, I guess. We're gonna go in here. So we use our bigger brushes to like blend that out. And since this is not a huge canvas, we don't have to worry about using the huge brushes like we did with these. And yes, I do have the other one behind these too, the beachy one. So where do we want our mountain to start? And you know what though? I actually see our mountain starting right about here. You know what though? The mountains in Oregon, they're called the Blue Mountains. they are called the Blue Mountains. Actually, those run from Oregon to Washington State and partially through Idaho. Excuse me. Partially through Idaho. You see that? Don't really worry about that. If it looks like there's little trees on the top, you've just made trees. Hey, right? You've just made trees. And maybe you have a little mountain back here, but it's more off in the distance, right? You just made a little one off in the distance. Maybe you've got one right here. And maybe it looks like it has trees. You see that? Looks like it has trees. Or maybe that's, look, it has trees. It has trees. Because you see how I did that? I actually went like that. And going like this with the brush, maybe that looks like it has trees. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clean up that brush. Go ahead and clean up that brush. So as you see, cleaning the fan brush is not that hard. It really didn't leave a lot of paint at all, really. Once you clean that up, this is very easy. And we just take this brush at the end of it, because we're working with acrylics, very easy to use, and just take that, pull it down, just pull it. And since this one's really more towards the back, just kind of fade that one. Just 2 hairs in a scare. Remember, mine's 2 hairs in a scare. 2 hairs in a scare in the back, and you got your further in the distance mountainscape. And you could like peek that one, and everybody's like, hey, how'd you do that? It's our secret, right? It's our secret. Of course, everybody else that comes on here and watches will know, but it's our secret. This is how you did it. This is exactly how you did. And you know, it may look green, but it's not. The Prussian blue always looks a little green, but if you wanted to, you can always go back into that black, take it back in there, and take it back in, and just go back in like that. And people will be so amazed when you do these. They really will. They will be so amazed when you do these. And they'll be like, wait, where did you learn that? Like, have you been watching that old dude on PBS? Like, combination of him and somebody else. Now, the further you come out this way, okay? The further you come out this way, the darker it gets. The darker it gets. The darker it gets, my friends. The darker it gets. And will we always do mountainscapes? No, we will not. I'm going to leave a little bit of that open now. Am I going to clean this? Yes, I am. Because I'm going to pull this down again. So we're going to pull that out because that did look a little too green for my taste. I think it's because of that blue that was in there. It just wasn't my taste, you know? Every artist is completely different, and you can still make this look kind of pushed. See, look, you can take that and push and make it look like there's little trees at the top of a mountain. It's just all in the balance of how you want to make it look. All sorts of little things live in your land. That's just how it is. See, look, I'm going to show you something. All sorts of little things live in your land. Okay, look, that's all it is. All sorts of little things live in your land. You can easily just take that right out of there. Take that right out of there. It's so simple. You can just take that right out of there. It's that light. All you ever have to do is that. And it's lighter, and it's lighter, and it's lighter. We can always add in and take out, add and subtract. Because you know what? To tell you the truth, art is math. Every little thing I teach you is an equivalence to mathematics. You should think about that. Every little thing that you put into artwork is an equivalence to mathematics. The more you know, my friends, the more you know. You can, go like this. Okay, you know what? What we're going to do, clean that brush. I've already said beat the devil out of it once, so. Just let me clean this brush, dry it up, and let me dry up that canvas. And then try the brush again. That way it's ready to go again. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this fan brush in to a little white. Okay, a little. I didn't want that much. Only want a little. What we're going to do is we're going to start down here. Little highlights. Some little highlights. Instead of bright painting. Make some little highlights. make some little highlights. And then you know what you do? You just kind of pull that down. Just pull it down. It's as simple as that. You don't really need, like I said, you don't really need all these huge, huge brushes for a smaller painting. You really do not. You really absolutely do not, my friends. You do not. Okay, you know what I actually see? And we're going to take this, and I know a lot of people will be like, what is she going to do? What is she going to do? Okay. Oh my goodness. Just a little thing dancing up here. Just dancing in the sky, highlighting it. Just dancing in the sky, highlighting it. Just felt like, I don't know. It came up under and over, kind of wisping together. Just felt like, I don't know, felt like that. Kind of highlighting in the sky together. You see what I mean? Dancing clouds. Felt like that. Like that. You see what I mean? And then that changes the whole perspective. You know, your sunsets dancing in the sky how you want it to pull together. Hey, some cloud dancing. Dancing in the sky. Clean that brush up. Clean up that brush. What we do is we just go in here and just fluff that up. Just fluff it up. We clean the brush. And just go right back in and just fluff it. I just know this crafting has a lot more stuff on sale. Yeah, they do. This is Z coupons. Really helpful. They're not yet. Remember that. I highly, highly suggest. Now, what I'm really going to do, let me switch brushes for that. Switch brushes for what I'm going to do. Brush from over here. Yeah, my palette, my bigger brushes over here. So take a big. Well, now that they're done playing, tried to demonetize, I added a little more red back into the sky hint. God, I added advertisements in today. They want to demonetize. Sorry, my noisy neighbor again. I'm going to blend that. Like I said, 2 hairs and a scare. And like I said, that's going to show a purple effect with the blue. And then I'll go back in and add a little more white in for those clouds. It's Monday, people. It's Monday. Can you tell? Like, one of those Mondays where, like, you want to get your video done nicely, and yeah. Yeah, you know, one of those Mondays where you just want to get your video done. So I'm going to go back into that yellow, add a little more of that yellow ochre to it, and a little more of that white. Just go back in. But we're going to leave that brightness in the middle there. Yep. You can do whatever you want with your sky. It's your world. Do whatever you want with your sky. Brighten it up. See that bright spot right in the middle. Come right back up here. You know what? Look. See what that did? See what that did right there? That actually gave the actually really cooler effect. Really good. That gave her a cooler effect. I think so. Right there. Right there. Clean that brush again. And now we're going to dry my brush. Even Bob Ross had some odd paintings. There was one of his paintings. And I was not the only one that thought this, because I had my friend Rocco watch it. I thought, okay, some of those rocks were oddly shaped. Oddly shaped. Like, parts. I'm not going to tell you which human parts. It's like, okay, what was old Bob thinking of that day? What was on Bob's mind that day? He kept painting bushes and oddly shaped stones. Like, wow. I knew what was on Bob's mind that day. Yeah. Let's put back in some different clouds here to fix that better. Okay, we'll just kind of wisp that. Here we go. Actually, I think this gives it a better effect. There we go. Now you see what I mean? That kind of gives it a kind of that purple effect, even though we have the blue in there. Remember how Bob used to get like just a really cool effects in his skies. That was the best cloud that just came up out of nowhere. But we'll fix that in a minute. Just wisp him along. Wisp him along. For a different effect in the sky. All sorts of different effects in your sky. All that out of it. Okay. So, I said, dry brush in. 2 hairs and a scare. Very lightly across your canvas. That includes down here, because we did not do that. We did not do that around the base of here. And I think that dried up because, thank you, YouTube, for being assholes. I gotta wet that brush and kind of fluff it. Kind of try to get that to do what I need it to, because YouTube decided to try to demonetize. Now I'm going to start sending them the fucking bill for this paint. Go to Michael's Crafting. Okay, they're going to have to start paying me for the paint. Okay, I'm going to have to take a little white into that. They're going to have to start paying me for the lost paint. Well, that gave kind of a, I don't know, cloudy effect towards the bottom, which is not what I wanted anyway. But we'll see how this turns out. Wash that brush. That was going to be my dry brush through this whole thing, and I don't know. I'm going to have to clean it and beat the devil out of it. Now, I still have 3 16 by 20 canvases left. Like I told you guys, one of those is for a portrait of a friend of mine, which I will be featuring here. I did promise you guys I will show you that. Okay. Like I said, the great part about beating your brushes like that to dry them is it does fluff your brushes. Don't think that it doesn't. Oh yes, my friends, it does fluff those brushes up. Yes, it does. I can attest to that. Most definitely it does, because I use this one. I have paint on it. I cleaned it. Look at that. No paint on me. No paint. Okay, what are we going to do down here? First of all, I'm going to take my fan brush again. I do need to get a thicker one than this, because this is just your, like, your primary one. This is like your, yeah, it's just your primary one. You know, your level 1. I should have gotten a level 7 because I'm more advanced than level 1. So we're going to take your sap green, okay, sap green with a little bit of phthalo blue and a little bit of black, okay. What we're going to do, we're going to come right in here and make a distant tree line. Make a distant tree line right back in here. Right back in here, because anything else that we do with this tree line can all be covered up right in here, okay? Anything else that we do with that tree line can all be covered up. Be like, we'll use sap green. Well, but yes, I said we're going to do bright. I said we're going to do bright, and that's what I meant, is we are doing bright. The further we get back, the more distant they are, the smaller they look. Like, you can do that, yeah. Take a couple of those bristles on there and make them look distant. If you're working with the primary one, you can literally make them look smaller. So you just go back into that color. I almost went over there just directly. Ugh. You just take the edge of that, just take the very tip, and those are just weird little distant trees. Way off. My goodness, I so sound like him, but I don't care. Way off. And you're working these forward. You're just working these little guys forward, okay? The more forward they get, the darker they get, the bigger they get, okay? And then you take a little more. If you run out of your mixture, you know, you just go back into your colors, pick them up, mix them together, go right back in, start making them. But don't ever just like go in and put one guy there. That's a fence post, or yeah, just don't do that. Dude's hanging on his own. Looks like a fence post hanging in the wind. Okay, we got this. Kind of brush it like that. Make it look a little misty. You just take the fan brush and do that. It's like right at the bottom of them. Okay, it makes it look like a little grassy area. See that? It's as simple as that. You take the fan brush. You still tell I have the Monday brain farts. Take that, you have your little grassy area. If you have to wet the brush again, hey, that's no big. Just get it only a little wet, dry it a little bit. Just take this and pull. Take this. This is at the bottom of the tree and pull. Bottom of the tree, pull. Get that brush a little wet. Dab it on the only one side. You're not going to dab both sides. The wet side, take along that tree, pull. Take along the tree, pull. Along that tree, pull. See how that effect is? It just pull. Now, since you have that liquid white underneath, it's going to show that. And don't even worry about that. It gives you a really cool effect. See that? That just gives you a really cool effect. And that doesn't affect anything in the back either, because you could actually take that color that you made and take that right up here into the mountain. Because I said this would be bright. And you can take that up here into the mountains, because these are not exactly snowy mountains. I didn't say every mountain in Oregon is covered in snow. Oh, no, no, no. Take that very lightly in that very distant mountain. You have a very distant green faded mountain. Like you took that up here because these ones have the trees. They're in the distance, but they're there now. Now you took what was left on here, you dipped that brush, only dried one side. Took the rest of the paint that's on it and pulled it, and pulled it, and pulled it, and then you take the other side and you pulled it, and then you took that green that was on there and that is now on your canvas, and then you dip that brush back and you still have that little bit of that paint left on your brush, and then you pulled it and that green is there. You see, that is so not hard. Now what do we have here? We have a premise here for several things. Now we have a mountain, we have a sunset. Now, we're not doing a seascape now. That's freaking obvious. We could do a cabin in the mountains. Now we've done several cabins. Got this mountain, I've got trees here. Of course, we're going to do similar trees. Can do similar trees. You have to do those kind of trees with smaller brushes, of course, because you know I have the brush. But let me think. Now, eventually, I haven't told you guys this. Eventually, I'm going to do a portrait of Wallowa Lake. Now that's in Oregon. Eventually we will do that one. Let me see, where do I want to take this? What do I see in this? What do I see? I need, do I need my favorite brush at the moment? Well, now I will be taking out my favorite brush because I will be using that one. Now I do see we have more trees. We have a body of water here. Now I do see that. I don't see what you guys see in this, but you guys have your own painting in mind. You can do your own painting. This is to give you an idea. What do we got here? What do we got here? I see. We're going to go back in and we're going to pick up just a little bit more of the yellow ochre, the bright yellow. A little more yellow ochre. A bit of that white with it. A little bit of that sap green. You're just going to load your brush, wiggle your brush till you come to a nice pointed tip. Or you can just go like that. Doesn't really matter. Well, it does sort of for what we want to do for the land here. Put your paint down for a minute. At this point, you might actually need to hold your canvas. Take one hand if you're working like I am with this, and just tap in a little land. We can always do this, excuse me, on a bigger canvas. Sometime we will do this on a bigger canvas. Well, you know I've done this on bigger canvases. We're just gonna, you know what else we can do? Always work in a little red in that. Give it a little, like I said, we can have some brightness in here too. Be careful with that red though. That red's bright red. Gotta be careful with that sometime. I said we got bright, but hey, sometimes that's a little too bright. Back in there. A little more yellow ochre. A little more bright yellow in there. Work that in there. There we go. Let that red overtake anything. Add a little more sap green. A little more yellow ochre and more bright yellow. Don't let that red overtake everything. We can add a little more white into that to dull it down. Now you might think white actually brightens everything. Wash that brush up, clean it up, because we don't want a mud mix. Clean it off. Yeah, you don't want to be a mud mixer, that is for sure. This is absolutely for sure. You do not want to be a mud mixer. Pick up a little more red, not too much. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you don't want to be a mud mixer. Okay, and bring that down. And you see how that'll actually just pull it? It just pulls it. See how that changes the landscape? It also has some of the sky color. It just has some of the sky color, but it's not going to pick up too much of it. And you can also go into, like, where we picked up a lot of that sap green. And take that sap green back in there. Take it back in. Because we know the seasons are changing. Just pick up some of that sap green and just lay that down in there in the land. Now let me tell you something. In Oregon, this is a lot of the colors that's there. Especially when the seasons are changing. Especially when the seasons are changing. It's like out here in Pennsylvania. It's almost identical. When the seasons are changing, it almost looks identical. I moved out here in 2002 away from Oregon. I never fit in Oregon. Never did. Never did. Never felt like home. Home is where you believe you fit in. I never fit in Oregon. Nope. Now, if you ever get the chance to go to the Umatilla, now you have to go to the city of Umatilla to find two pieces of my artwork there. Go to the city of Umatilla, go into their library, and you will find two pieces of my artwork there. Yes, you will. I donated two pieces of my artwork to their library. I think maybe I've told this story to you guys. And you will find two pieces of my artwork there. Their children in that little town didn't have any inspiration to read. I was like, why aren't these kids reading? They're only on the computers. I was even asking the librarian that. I'm like, why aren't these kids reading? They're only on the computers. They're like, I don't know, they just don't have any inspiration. I gave them some inspiration, all right. Did two paintings. Gave those kids some inspiration. Two paintings. That's all it took. Give kids inspiration. Did that for Head Start. Gave kids inspiration. Oh my gosh, there's just so many things you can do to inspire. Just to inspire other people. And I hope that's what I can do for you guys, with no matter if it's the exercise, the artwork, the cooking, you know, just a little inspiration to change a little bit of something in your life. As long as it makes you happy, you know? And you see how the look of the landscape is completely different in the color. I mean, it's so pretty. but it's different because the season is changing. You got the red from the sky, the little bit of the yellow, and then we're going to do the water. Yes, we are going to add in some trees. I got to fill this in right here, but fill that in like that. See, look, hey, that could be a tree right there. There's an idea. Maybe I just made a little happy accident right there, and it became a tree. It became a tree. That little happy accident became a tree. Right there became a happy accident. It became a tree. Right there. Right there, guys. That's all it took. It doesn't really matter. And then we can highlight that in. See? That's all it really takes. All it really takes. Any little happy accident can become something else. It absolutely can. Now, you guys know I have the brown tones on here, and I will be using those. But we also need to have some trees. Oh my goodness. Where do we need to have some trees at? This isn't, you know what? No, I don't think I'll use my fan brush for this. I do not think I will use my fan brush for this. Get my fan brush over there. I just washed my blanket and I got like a dirty paintbrush on it. I did too. I just washed my blanket. You guys know where Charlene's art corner is. It's over by my bed. Okay. So let's just branch out here with some trees. Right? Okay. First of all, I should have gave that guy some branches before doing that. Maybe that's this big old bush sitting there. Okay. Take a deep breath and make a tree. We have a tree that lives right about here. Yeah, right about here. He didn't grow right. He did not grow right. A bear stepped on him when he was little. He didn't grow right. But it's all kind of weird. Maybe the bear was weird. Sat on him all crooked and everything. Here he has a little arm. Arm attached to it. Little things that come out. Not all perfect. Trees aren't perfect. People aren't perfect. But you know, you are who you are. We're individuals. Right? We're all individuals. We are who we are. I think we're all perfect in our own way. We all got set on by a different kind of air. My youngest son, Thomas Little Bear. That's his nickname. I don't give you his real name. That's his nickname. There we go. You see his little branches? I'm going to let that dry. I won't put in, not leafing that one alone yet. Nope. Not leafing that one alone. Okay. Maybe. You know what I see right here? You guys are like, gosh darn it. I knew she was going to do it. Gosh darn it. I can't do it with this brush. You guys going to be like, I knew it. I just knew it. I see it and I need to put it in. I see see it in my mind. I don't want that one. Or that one. My other filter for this. You guys are going to be like, I knew it. I knew she was going to put one in. I just knew it. Okay, guys, what am I getting ready to put in? I just see it right there. It lives right there, and I see it. So I have to put it in. I just have to. I see it, so I'm going to color block it. It lived right there. So I'm going to color block. Yes, it's a cabin, people. It's a cabin. And it's right here. I saw it and it was saying, hey, what are you doing? You're leaving me out. Eh? What? I could see it beckoning to be on the freaking canvas. And it was like, what are you doing? Leaving me out. What is going on here? It was like screaming to be on the canvas. So there it is. I wasn't going to do one, but I saw it. And it was like, there it is. So I'm going to color block that and then go back in. Hey, don't ask what's in my head. My friend Rocco swears it's aliens. He swears that's the answer is aliens. I'm going to take a little bit of brown and white. Okay. A little bit of brown and white. That's what he says. That's not my fault. Anyway, that's his running joke. He just doesn't understand how I can just get artwork done the way I do it. So he says there's aliens in my brain and Bob Ross. Or that Bob Ross must be another species of alien and he doesn't understand us. I don't know. And that's my answer. But hey, I like Bob Ross. He's a cool old dude. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my black, come over here, put in a little door. My goodness, I really wasn't going to do a cabin. I promise you, I really and seriously was not going to do a cabin today. And then I was like, oh my God, it's right there. How can I not do this? It's staring at me. And it's right there. I don't know, my friends. I don't know. I'll give it a cabindectomy in a moment. Because I see like a little shadow right here. You see what you can do because the canvas is still wet. You can literally take like some of the highlight point from it and just literally take it. If you're holding your hand steady enough, you can just literally take it across. Give it a cabindectomy. Take some of that paint from the brush and use it as shadow. And then literally, you can take that, wiggle the brush, and you have a path. You literally have a path. It's kind of like a shallow little path that goes up to where we're going to make the water. It's a shallow little path. Sorry if I was blocking the canvas and I may not have realized. We're going to wiggle that brush, makes a shallow little path, and we'll fix that in a minute. So we'll make little windows, which will look like, hey, they're lit up because somebody's home. Somebody may be home there. You never know. Just never know. Somebody's in there, happy little cabin. Make a little chimney in a little while. Let's get to that water. And we'll get some more trees in there. Because we have to make some highlight for that tree, which we can go right back into that light brown. Go right back into that. Right down. And we just take that here. And see how that gives that little highlight on that tree. And you just take that into the branches. You have to just go back in, pick up some more. No, I don't have it in my lap, as you noticed. And then you have that little color, highlight color in there right before we go in, and we take our 1-inch brush. Okay, take our 1-inch brush, pick up the color, and just take the edge and just tap in little indications of leaves. Just little indications. You don't have to make it too dark. I mean, you can, but then you just go right into the sap green. Just go right into the sap green. Look. And that is how you make those. Just a bit darker. A bit darker. But then we'll have to go back in and make highlights on top of that if you really wanted. Just to shape out your tree. This is what you're doing at the moment. You're just really shaping out your tree. And see, that's what I mean. You did the branches first, and then you come back in and you shape out your tree. See, it's just as easy as that. You've shaped out your tree. You've taken your colors in, and you've just literally shaped your tree. And it's like, today you have a tree. And it's like that. It's really that simple. And another thing, if you really wanted to make that darker, you take some of that sap green and the black. And let's say, okay, we're going to make a little bushy friend at his feet. Okay? But you take that color. Little bushy friend at his feet with that color. He's got a little bushy friend right there. Here. See? Felt that easy. He has a little bushy friend right there at his feet. Just a little bushy friend. Maybe there's one over here now. Can't leave out that side of the canvas. Could have little things going on there. Just little indications of stuff. Just little indications. Little indications of stuff. It's like you gotta think, like, what is it that I can do today that's, no, what can I do in my world that I can do that's really cool, and nobody else can say that, hey, I've always, like I said before, I've always been told that I would never do anything successful with my artwork. Always been told that. I've always been told you can't do that. I've always been told no. And you know what I'm doing? Bringing it to you. I'm bringing it to you, my friends. So you know what I'm doing? I'm saying, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can bring it to you guys. Forget what they told me. I am bringing it to you. You know why I think they always told me that? They always told me that because they were jealous. They didn't have the ability, my friends, to pick it up and do what I do, or ask me, hey, can you show me that? Can you show me how you do that? Why, sure, I would have been nice enough, you know. I would have showed them. I would have definitely showed them how to pick up the paintbrush. Pick up the paintbrush and do that. Or here, let me show you how to do that. Join in with me. Yeah, it's never like that. It was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You're always sick. You can't do that. So, my friends, let's put tree right about here, and it's a little crooked. My hand went a little crooked right now, so we have a crooked tree. My hand just went a little crooked. We have a little crooked tree right here. Maybe it lives closer to the water. We have a little crooked branch here. Little doodles, come on. Oh, that one's like a weirdly one. It's a freaky branch. One of those like weird branches that you see on the tree that has like a big warty spot. Yeah, one of those. Has the warty branch. We're not going to catch it too much off into like the bright area because we really don't want it to. And yeah, yes, the branch out. This guy's really branching out in odd directions, isn't he? Really branching out in some odd directions. Maybe he's the one that the kids almost built their treehouse in out here in the woods. Put something at his feet too. Yeah, maybe he's the one the kids almost put the treehouse in, but they noticed the wart here on his knuckle. They're like, ew, he's got the warty knuckle. Yeah. Then they didn't want him. The warty knuckle kid. So we'll go back into the sap green and the black. And we'll put little indications of the bushes around on his feet. Just around his footsies. Right around here. That's covered up. We'll go back into that sap green. And this is where we start right up here, building your tree. Building your tree. Go back into that sap green to do that. Like I said, you can go back into the black and sap green. You might have to add some more sap green to our paint palette here, and that'll be fine if we have to do that. That's perfectly fine. See, like I said, look, you're building your tree. You're absolutely building the shape of your tree. When you're bringing that in here, how do you want this to look? What are these branches holding when you're doing that? What are your branches holding? Put a little bit more of that sap green on there, which is fine. I got enough in the tube to do this. We haven't even touched the water yet. We will get to that water. We absolutely will. Maybe this was somebody's favorite fishing hole and hunting area. You never know. Maybe. Maybe. Mix a little more of that sap green and the black together. Just come right up in here and just lightly touch. Okay, I wanted to lightly touch and it went wrong. But hey, maybe it was a happy accident. You just never know. We can just tap it along up here. Maybe the tree built up a little more. Maybe this is a strong tree. This is the one that really got a lot of that sunlight. Look, see like the middle limb? You know that limb that we thought was warty? He was strong. He was a strong limb. Those kids were wrong about that. He was Mr. Strong Limb. And then you know what we do? You know those lighter colors that we have right here? You just pick those up on here and take those as a highlight. Yes, we do. We want that as a highlight now. We're going to highlight that. Come right in here. Just take the edge, come back in here and just softly highlight that. Softly, gently take that and highlight. Just very gently highlight. And you want to leave some dark in there. You want to leave some dark. Gently highlight. Look how beautiful that is. You gently highlight your tree and look at that beautifulness. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Now think about this. This is just a little 8 by 10. And look at the beauty in it. Just a little 8 by 10. And look, like I said, I'm doing a nice majestic for you. I wasn't kidding you. Doing a nice majestic 8 by 10 painting for you guys today. And I'm not done with it, obviously. But I wasn't kidding the kind of painting I would bring you today. Okay, let's get down to this water. Yeah, let's get down to this water now. It doesn't matter that that little bit of that green is in there. Don't worry about that, because that can count as, okay, that can actually, excuse me for burping, that can actually count as a little bit of cast, shadow or reflection, as you may want to call it, reflection. Reflection from the plant life. It's plant life reflection. Okay? It is our plant life reflection, because I can take that wet brush right in there and pull some of this down, and we can use that as plant life reflection into the water, so we do not have to worry about that at all. And you see how that green gets just a little bit stronger doing that, and just take it down as plant life reflection, where we are going to put that water in. That is just the easiest way to do that. Now, like I said, I'm working with acrylics, so I don't really have to worry about all the chemicals to use to clean the brushes, and I know a lot of people probably have questions about that. So, I thought this was taking longer to do this painting, but hey, I guess not. And I don't really mind. So I'm going to try to find an empty spot on this to do this. All right, you know what? I'm just going to go back into where I had that blue and take my other blue and the white. Mix that. And if I have to put a little more white on my palette, I will do it. But I'm not really too worried about it at the moment, because this is wet. I might do it though. And because I have that liquid white underneath with that green tone, although green and blue don't make like I said, I'm using that as a reflection tone. Now remember, water has movement. Water has movement. Now there's plenty of lakes and streams and all sorts of stuff around Oregon and Pennsylvania. So this could be either or. This could be Oregon, this could be Pennsylvania. Plenty of mountains in either. So again, this could be Oregon, this could be Pennsylvania. You never know. You just never know, my friends. You just never know. Now, I've never been to Alaska. I can say that. I've never been to Alaska. I've been to Virginia. I've been to, oh my gosh, I've been through so many states. It's like crazy. Let's see, I've traveled from Oregon to Virginia by car, and then from Virginia to California by car, and then from California back to Oregon by car, from Oregon back to California by car, and then from California to North Chicago, Illinois by car. And then from there to Oregon by train. And then down to Texas by car, back to Oregon by car, to PA by train, back to Oregon by bus, back to PA by bus, back to Oregon by bus, back to PA by train. Oh, damn, you're well traveled. Let's see. Then back to Virginia just to visit with someone by bus. Then back up to PA by bus. Back to Oregon by train. Back to PA by plane. Well, no. Before back to PA by train. To California to visit by plane. And then back to Oregon by bus. Well, actually, I went to Washington State by bus. And then back to Oregon by... How the hell did I think it was train. Yeah, train. And then back to PA by plane. And then I visited some friends in Ohio by bus, and then came back to PA by bus. Yes, I'm a well-traveled person. But I've never been outside the U.S. Although the woman that raised me claims I've been in Mexico. Not unless she knocked me unconscious. No, I have not been. I do not have a passport and never have. You have to have a passport to go to Mexico. I don't have one. That I know, you have to have a passport to go to Mexico. And I don't have one. Although she swears I do. Never have had a passport in my life. You know what I forgot to do on this tree? Highlights. Highlights. And I can still drop a few in. I can still drop a few in. But you know what, my friend? I forgot to do the highlights. But I can still drop them in. And to lighten this one up, I can still drop in a few other little highlights. And you know what? On the rough. Gotta drop in a few highlights on that rough. Just a few. And then we'll actually darken one side of this because you need to. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this and darken it on one side like that. And actually make it look like there's boards. I don't really like how light this is anyway. I don't really like how light it came out, so I'm actually going to darken it just a smidge. Just a smidge. I don't really like light wood. I don't like light wood. There, I like that better. I don't know about you, I like it better. I like that better. That's much, much better. Anyway, we're going to go back into trees and some other stuff with this, and we may have a rock that lives right here. It's a little rock. It's right here. It lives right here. Or she. They don't really have a gender. And there's one that lives here. Their friends live here. Kind of a boulder. And they aren't even in Colorado. Ha ha! You see the joke I made. It's there. Little one here. I have to have too many. I have to have too many. maybe, just maybe, not thinking, maybe you got little stones that come up the path that go up here. Now see, if I was Bob Ross, I'd have limit on how long I can do this painting. Boy, did he ever tell it. Poor Bob Ross. Boy, did he ever tell it. He told how mean his producer was. Like, boy, did he ever tell how mean she was. Maybe we have another little tree that lives right here. Boy, you're like, wow, you got these trees going. It's right here. Yeah, I said bright and sunny. Got some trees going for you. Got some trees right here. Branching out for you. Branching out different directions. It also depends on how the light catches them. It really does depend on how the light catches your trees. And you know what? And since we have to let that paint dry, and give it a little foot down here, since we have to let that paint dry, maybe we got one right out here in the distance. Right out here in the distance. But you know what? This one isn't going to be the same flavor as them. Oh my gosh. We got a little evergreen right off here. Just a little evergreen. You know how we make this guy? Just make that little thing down and just push it on there. That's how you make your little evergreen. Think I was going to leave an evergreen out of the mountains? No. Evergreens live all over in the mountains. What's an evergreen without his friends? What's an evergreen without his friends? It's got one right here. Put my brush this way. I'm right-handed and I got to work my brush a certain way. They're like, wait, that's the left-handed way. Well, if you notice how I'm holding my hands, let me tell you something. That's the Asian way of calligraphy. It really is. So you will have to understand that some ways that I do certain paintings, I will sometimes use the Asian style of calligraphy, and I learned how to do that myself, and from just owning the books, I picked up on Asian calligraphy, like the Chinese art and the Japanese art of calligraphy. So we have the bright tones mixed together between the yellow ochre, the bright yellow, and I may pick up just a little bit of that red tone. Just a smidge. I'm not going to do too much of it, I promise you guys. And just go in and just press just a little hint here and there on our trees. A little bit too much on the little dude. On our evergreens. We got a little family of threes. Right there. Just right there. That's cool, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that 1-inch brush and take that 1-inch brush with our sap green and our black. We're going to go back in there and get a little more of that. Going to go right back into this tree. Start building that in. Start building in our shape. Start building in our shape. See that? That is so simple. We're just building in that shape of that tree. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. And like I said, I'm letting this dry. This is almost dry. It's still a little wet. And we'll go back in there and we will actually add a little bit of leafage just at the top, spreading up. As you notice, I didn't pluck these out because I really didn't want to. I wanted to leave the leaves alone. Leave the leaves alone. That's a good one, right? Leave the leaves alone. Leave the leaves alone. Leave the leaves alone. Yep. But what I am going to do is come along to the bottom of these and just kind of, there we go. Yeah, I wanted those kind of straightened up a bit. Straighten up, boys. In the Army now. When Bob Ross was Air Force, I was a recruiter for the Army National Guard Army Tank Division, like I've told you guys before. They're my Army now. That's why there's so much green. No, it's green because there's so much green out in the forest. Okay, and we're going to add a little bit of the highlights. See that? Isn't that beautiful? Add a little bit of those highlights. Yeah, that red went into this with the yellow ochre. Just a little red, and with that yellow ochre, just a smidge. I'm not putting too much in, just that smidge of the red with the yellow ochre. And that just makes such a beautiful effect into this painting. Put a little bit more of that yellow ochre in there, not overkill. So we don't really want to lose our dark, because if we do, we can always go back in, pick it up, and just always go back in over it. That is something we can always, my friends, always do. If we feel like we've lost the dark, we can always go back in, just like that. And we have it back. Never feel like you ever lose it, because we're going to go right back in water. Rock, I was wondering where Bob Ross was in my brain just now. Thank you. He just gave me a compliment. He likes this. So, going back to the water, a little white on the brush. We're going to just bounce this on the shoreline. As you know, the water picks up, just bounces along the shoreline. Of course, it's going to bounce along these rocks. And we will give the rocks a little bit of definition in a bit. And then what we can do with this is just take that white and just go like that. Pick that up and just on the tip of the brush. Just take it and go like that. I didn't even know if I was really going to do water today in this painting, but you know what? Hey, it happened. It happened. And I think it's turning out. What do you think, guys? What do you think? I don't know. You'll have to let me know. You'll definitely have to let me know what you think. If you think it's turning out, you will have to let me know. Definitely. I would like to know what you think. But maybe there's a little rock out in the middle of the water. This is what the fish, if there's fish in here, the fish swim around this. Right out here in the water, the fish swim around this sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes fish swim around like a certain rock. You know what I mean? And it's a little weird, but you know, there's always this one rock that the fish swim around. And you can just like swim out to that rock. Because you know, the fish are like right there around that rock. It's like weird, but there's like always this one rock you know that the fish are always going to. Just take a little highlight. Dab it in there. A little highlight. And don't be afraid if the black tone gets in, mixes in. And like I said, we're going to come in, add a little tone with these other rocks. And there we go. Since we're doing this rock, we might as well. See, just bounce it in. Don't be afraid to do that. And so we have this color, we're going to go ahead and bounce that roof right in there. Just do that. It's wood anyway. This is wood. It's wood. We're going to just bounce in that roof. I'm going to go ahead and clean that brush. Not beating the devil out of that one. That's too small. Too small. And no, we're not calling this one done yet. Because I actually need to smooth some of this paint. There's 2 hairs in a scare. There's 2 hairs in a scare, my friends. No, I don't want to take that brush either. Find one of my favorite brushes here. If it didn't accidentally get left down at the creek, because I was letting a little fella down at the creek do a painting, and he gave it to his grandma. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. That's where that other canvas went. I was trying to think, oh my gosh, where'd this one canvas go? Now I remember. On Labor Day, you guys will like this story. On Labor Day, since you guys know from this painting here, I was down at my friend Harry Labor's family's house down at Darby Creek. One of his cousins was down there, and you know, she had her grandson with her, and I was like, oh, I gotta help keep this kid busy, because he's a handful. He is a handful and a half. So I was helping keeping him busy. So something was like, you know, you need to bring an extra canvas with you. Sure enough, there must have been a reason for bringing that extra canvas. I kept that kid busy for a little while. Kept that kid busy. He was doing his own painting. He wasn't doing nothing like this. He's not old enough, but you know, he was like, oh, give this to my Iman. Okay, so Betty Ann was so happy to get her painting from her grandson. But hey, that was so cool though. You know, got the painting from her grandson. She's like, wow, kept him busy. Yeah, kept him busy. You actually kept him busy for more than 5 seconds. Yeah, why? Nobody can do that. I'm a miracle worker, apparently. That kid busy for more than 5 seconds. It's all right. I've been known to do miracles with certain kids, so. Okay, and since we haven't added the highlight in with that tree yet, we're going to go ahead and add in that highlight. I'll clean that brush better soon. And I'm going to go ahead and add in that highlight. Where did my highlight go? Get my brush a little wet. Add in my highlight. Turned my palette around and got turned around myself. Add in that highlight right here to that tree. Since it's turned different from the other trees, we actually add in the highlight on this side. Okay. And I'm not going to call this painting done yet. I'm going to add in a few little bushes. So we haven't really done that with this painting. So I want to add in a few little bushes. Just a few, not that many. So we're going to take the end of this brush. Little sap green, the rest of the yellow ochre, the bright yellow. I can always add more to the palette if I want. I have plenty of paint left. hint of that red, just a hint. And I mean a hint, because that stuff is bright. Don't want to kill the paint with it. I'm going to clean that brush. There. Because we also have to work, like I said, we were only doing one part of that path. We're also not done with that path yet. We might actually add in a few other little trees too. I don't know yet. Add in a little more sap green. Got plenty of sap green in the tube. Oops. Actually, that's not my hair. I'm not blonde. Okay, add some bushes in right here. It's right here. And no, Rocco's not my significant other, so don't worry about that in case you thought that. No, we're not. He's just my friend. Where the hell did a synthetic blonde hair come from? That's definitely not mine. Sure have been finding a lot of them around lately, though. They are not mine. His sister works in hair salon. Maybe she had them on her. That could be where they came from. Yeah, see, that changes the whole perspective of the painting. I'm going to bring that closer to you. Now, isn't that pretty? Isn't that just pretty? Got your little cabin, got the trees and everything, those trees next to the cabin. I'm going to put a little chimney on the cabin. But isn't that just pretty? Just for a little 8x10. Come on, that's not a big Bob Ross. I said I'd wow you guys today. Are you wowed yet? Are you wowed yet? You're like, get the paintbrush away from there. You're going to ruin it. I don't have it that close to it. Are you guys wowed yet? Let me know if you're wowed yet. I said I would do really bright Bob Ross style painting and wow you guys. Let me know if you're wowed yet. And I'm not done with this, but definitely let me know if you're wowed yet by what I can do to bring you guys these kind of paintings into your life. I mean, my goodness, you guys have to find the reruns on PBS. You guys have to wait for them to get done with doing their asking you for money for stuff. And, you know, it's sad that they have to go that far, you know, to ask people for money. You don't have to ask me, you know, I'm not doing that. I'm just bringing it to you here. I'm giving you those styles of painting. Remember that bush back here? Hey, that just turned into a bunch of other little things. Hey, that just turned into like a little tree back here in the background. You remember I said it was a tree in the first place. What's a little tree back here? A little tree back there. Where's my brush? Because I'm going to fix like a little a little bit of that and bring it back forward. So bush in the back knows its place. Yeah, sometimes if you do a little error and you want to make sure that you bring your trees back forward, you can always darken where your tree bases are and make sure that things in the background know where they belong. You know what I mean? And make sure that those things in the background realize that they, hey, that's where it belongs. It belongs in the background. And then take a darker shade and pull, make sure that that's pushed towards the back. Make sure that that's pushed more towards the back. See, like right there, that's pushed more towards the back, and then I can just fix that again. That's no big. That's pushed more towards the back area. I mean, you can even use a smaller brush for that. Okay. I mean, this is just an absolute painting. You guys can try. Like I said, I'm not done. I got to do the pathway, the little chimney. And like I said, you guys can tell there's wood on there. It's that tree again. Because fixing this tree is like really no big. Because it's got the little things around its feetsies right here, right? And take that burnt sienna and the burnt umber to make the chimney. You know, make it look like, just make it look like it's on this side. You know, you got the little chimney that's on the outside of the house. I really don't like the ones that stick out the top. I like the ones that are on the side. Got that little look to it. A lot of people are like, well, why can't it be on the inside? I like the ones that are on the outside. The way it's not going to burn your house down. You know? And give your roof like that little contrast line, like right across, so it's like all even and everything in your house, and it's not going to topple over. You know? House all even. Okay. This a cabindectomy. Give us some little indications of like either dirt or little things here, and you can go back in with a little white to help with that. I'll just pull it. You don't even worry about that. That'll just pull it, because you can always go back in with a little more brown tone over that. It just gives it that little dirt path right there that leads up to the water. It's up to the water. They can make it through the bushes. That's not going to kill them. Definitely not going to kill them. See? Like I said, you can always like wet the brush. Wet the brush when you're going to do that. And then, like I said, you know, and I'm just going to take this brush dirty into this. I really am. I'm going to take the brush dirty. Wet your brush just a little bit. Take it in there. Put a little more white. I'm just going to go in here. I'm just going to lightly dab in little indications into these little shrubs. It has some light in it, but you're not going to lose your total contrast. Just have little indications of light, but you're not losing your total contrast. You're definitely not losing your contrast. And this is the other thing people do not think of when you're doing this. You can pick up the black, okay? This is the other thing that people don't think of when you're doing this. When you're making your tree, yes, you do have that color on there. But you can also do this to your advantage. You also have your shade contrast on there at the same time. And that's what people don't think of when you're doing it. What are you doing? You have a little bit of shade contrast on there at the same time. Just don't think about that. Wow, right? Whole different outlook on when you are painting. Did you just put a shade contrast in while you're painting? Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. And that changes up the whole concept of how the heck did you get it to look like that? Well, you actually added in a bit of shade contrast while you were doing that. And they're like, wait, how'd you do that? It's my little secret. But yeah, you can definitely change things up. It's no blink of an eye. It's no big. It's not a blink of an eye. You just like take your paint. And I'm going to show you guys this on purpose. You're like, wait, you just took black back over that? But wait, there's some shade contrast. It's just as easy as that. I'm going to let that one dry for a moment. Because we're actually almost done with this video, I'm going to let that one dry for a moment. And it's like, oh my gosh, just do something crazy. Do something crazy. No. I can do something crazy. You know what's funny with this little stone? Looks like a little creature. That's actually funny. It's actually funny. Oh, let's see. Where I decided something was. Where did I decide something was? So I have enough stuff right there. Do I? Maybe I got a little guy. Hey, back over here, and we forgot all about it. He just lives right here. Forgot all about it. It's bent. It's got a little limb over here. I forgot all about him. Know what his name is? What's his name? Anybody know his name? Bob. Bob the tree. And you know why? Okay, it's not just because of Bob Ross. Okay, yes it is. Bob the tree may show up every once in a while. He may show up in a different shape. He may just show up in a different shape every once in a while. Bob the tree. There we go. Put a little different contrast into that. Clean that brush up a little. I don't like that. Put a little different contrast to that. Okay, sap green going over here with that. Sorry, I'm starting to do the Bob Ross whisper. Little indications. Little indications. You don't have to kill it, just do them. Okay. Like I said, but you can always put a little more sap green on the canvas. Yellow ochre, we got plenty of yellow ochre. And we've got plenty of the other colors, plenty of the bright, plenty. I am seriously not worried because I have plenty. I've got seriously plenty. So I actually have a whole other tube of yellow, actually 2 other tubes of yellow ochre. This is like the ending of that one tube that I was so excited about, of the yellow ochre. I mean, like almost this whole tube that I was so excited about finding. So yeah, before we end this one, I have to mix up the contrast for Bob the tree. Bob the tree. So it has that sap green, the yellow ochre, and the bright yellow with a little bit of that white. Why not? Because Bob Ross himself, a very bright person. He was a very bright person. Awesome dude. Must be clouds. Must be clouds. And everything else he thought of. An awesome person. It's maybe on 9/11. I'm trying to honor a veteran. Even though it's not Veterans Day. It's a day where we should honor people in uniform. Maybe I'm honoring a person. He may not be around anymore. He was a darn good artist. He brought everybody a lot of entertainment. That sap green. A little more of that sap green in there. See, this is why I did some of that sap green with the black earlier. And then since this is further back here, a little more light, you know. And I could add some more of just the sap green in, make it darker with this. After I do this tree and darken that one up a little bit, because I really have to, because I did make an actual boo-boo with this one. So I can go back in on that one. So I can really say I made a boo-boo with that one because this is the tree. And then I can bring back the limbs on that one. Bob the tree. And then bring its, yeah, there we go. Little indications of limbs back in. And bring its sap green back. Just about to call this one. And those highlights. Put more white in there. Just here and there. This one's in the back. You want to make sure that that one looks further away. Because even if we have to, because of right here, we can make that one a bit darker. The sap green and the black to make that one look a little bit darker right here so it doesn't look so blended. I gotta get the right brush for that, which happens to be right here. Thank goodness I have it in my lap. We can go right here. See that? And then instantly that pulls this tree forward. Instantly pulls this tree forward. And then you got to take that right here. Instantly that pulls this tree back forward. And you see, and then that you have to do a little bit of that with this one. The instantly that pulls this tree back forward away from that tree. Instantly. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this brush. And then I'm going to grab my new one. No, we didn't do too much into this one. It's just a small painting today. Grab that brush up. Let's beat the devil out of it. Yep, I said that twice today. Just beat the devil out of it. So, I hope you enjoyed today's painting. Give this a little bit more contrast line to it. Oh, you know what I forgot? There's someone home there. They got their little fire going. There you go. Okay, so, like I said, hope you enjoyed this painting today. You didn't have to have so many colors in your palette. And, oh, it's telling me I have low battery. I'm plugged in. I don't know why it's telling me I have a low battery. So I hope you enjoyed this today. Again, you guys always see me sign my middle initial first, then my first initial, and then my last name. So I hope you guys enjoyed this today. And leave me your thoughts in the comments below. Always pleasant ones. Is this one for sale? I don't know. Do you want it? If you would like this one, let me know. Depends on the person that would like it. And then if you would like me to go ahead and show you guys how to do this one, you let me know in the comments below, okay? And then we could do this one. But this was the one we were doing today. Okay. I hope you really enjoyed this. This was actually fun to do. Paint will cure tonight, and if we do one tomorrow, that would be great. I will show you guys this one cured tomorrow. So I would like everybody to stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. Love everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.